What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a lot of training videos going around for the Chicago Bulls players as of late. Guys like Lonzo Ball, guys like Zach LaVine, guys like Kobe White, all doing their training sessions, all of it being recorded and posted online for Bulls fans to get excited about next season. Even Io, I think, has a couple out there as well. With that being said, the one person I actually want to look at, and someone that I'm hoping is going to really progress, and for what I've seen from their training videos, it's looking like it's heading in that direction, is Dalen Terry. Dalen Terry, by far, at least in the recent times, has the most videos about him training out there for the Chicago Bulls. And I want to talk about what I've seen from those training videos, what I like, and what I hope could translate over to the NBA in this video. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and Dalen Terry. And do you think what you're seeing from these training montages that are being released by Bulls fan pages, by maybe, credible people, whatever the case may be, do you think that that can translate over to the NBA? And for certain people, we've already seen that it can do. For example, I mentioned Kobe White earlier. Basically, everything we saw him work on in the offseason actually translated over to this, to the last season the Bulls had, where he pretty much improved in every category. Almost every category, I would say, and he was one of the most improved players we have seen in the NBA. Now, with Dalen Terry, can that same thing follow? Well, look, we have to understand, first and foremost, that training montages and training videos does not always translate to the NBA. Thankfully, for Kobe White, it has, but for everybody, it's not the same. Working hard on your game, it's a whole different category actually implementing that to when it matters the most. And that is in NBA games and in NBA atmosphere in front of NBA crowds versus NBA opponents. It's as simple as that. Training is one thing, implementing is another. I'll give you an example of one that it's not that I don't think will translate to the NBA, but one that I worry about. The Lonzo Ball training montages. We've seen a bit of them, obviously, since he's recovering, and that's all fine and good. It's actually really good to see. But we got to remember Lonzo Ball is coming back from a very serious injury, so no matter what highlight montages you may see, it still might not mean anything once he actually steps foot into the NBA atmosphere. That's something we have to wait and see about. There is no training montage in the world right now that's going to really persuade, at least me, to believe that Lonzo Ball's going to come back at the top level or that Lonzo Ball's going to come back a shell of himself. It's something that I purely need to see from an NBA's perspective. No training montages will change my mind. But of course, for different people and different montages comes different things. And there's one clear thing that I've seen from Dalen Terry's montages that really does impress me. And that is the way that his three-point shot has changed. The mechanics of the shot, the quickness of the shot, and it looks more natural. And it's crazy because when you're thinking about something that's natural, you're thinking about the original, what his shot came into the league looking like. But it's looking a little bit more smooth. It's looking a little bit more NBA ready. And I think we could safely say last season he shot really badly from the three-point line. He's one of the worst three-point shooters on the team. He was really poor. And I even made jokes. I don't know if this is an actual fact or not, but I made jokes out there saying that he airballed more threes than he actually made. I don't necessarily think that's true, but to sum it up, he airballed a lot of his three-point attempts. Whether it was wide open or contested, whatever type of shot it was, he missed a lot of them. And I think that is clearly the area to work on. And I don't think people understand just how important having a three-point shot for a guy like Dalen Terry means for his career. So I'm happy that at least from the training montages I have seen, his jump shot looks smoother, looks a little bit more clean, looks a little bit quicker, and ultimately, of course, it's montages, so he's going to make the shots, but it looks like they're going in, which is great, fantastic. And I want to talk about what that means for the NBA. Let's just say Dalen Terry does translate that shot that he's been making in those montages into the NBA. Do you understand how much more of his game we will see because of that? I could give you more examples here, but I think the key one here is Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey was not seen as a great three-point shooter for the OKC Thunder in his last season. And he even, to an extent, was so poor in those playoff games, not being able to make the shots when they needed to see him make it, that he actually got benched, got taken out of the playoffs in many ways. And that hurts a player. And ultimately, I think we're starting to see now, even with Josh Giddey, the three-point shots he's starting to take and make a little bit more. And that's the key for him. He needs to improve that three-point shot. And for Dalen Terry, it's not necessarily the same because Josh Giddey was able to produce a lot more on a bigger stage, in a sense, where he was able to show his playmaking ability, his defensive, maybe his rebounding ability, stuff of that nature. Whereas Dalen Terry, because of that three-point shot, since it's not there, I think other parts of his game hasn't been able to flourish as much. But if you can get a three-point shot and you can get a team to respect your three-point shot, the most important thing is the team needs to guard that three and the team needs to respect you enough to be able to see what's a threat from the three-point line. If that can happen for Dalen Terry, I think his playmaking game is going to open up. Put it this way, if there is a player that's not going to guard you from the three-point line, that focus on the defensive end is going to be on somebody else. So passing lanes will get cut up. Pretty much driving lanes as well will get cleaned up as well. It's going to be very hard for Dalen Terry to score if he doesn't have that three-point shot in his repertoire. And I think if he improves that, playmaking opportunities will open up for him, driving lanes will open up for him, and ultimately the transition game may open up for him as well. So this is how important it is to have a three-point shot in this modern NBA. Most players do have it, or to an extent, have it to a respectable level. And with Dalen Terry, I'm not asking him to become a 40% three-point shooter overnight. We clearly see he's not ready for that. But if he can become competent at that level, you will start to see his game open up in many ways. And that's where you get to see a lot of the other training montages, the dribbling and the finishing around the rim and the decision-making aspects. All of those training montages will actually be shown firsthand when he can get that three-point shot in his repertoire. It is very, very important to have. And this is one of the key things that I hope from the montages we have seen can translate over. Because let's be honest as well, this is Dalen Terry's, big proving point. He needs to start proving it now. It was good being the energy guy for a lot of that 2 seasons that we had him. He didn't get many opportunities in his first season. He got a little bit more in his second season, and I don't think he did that great in those opportunities. So this third season now is the proving point. And we know he's a hard worker. There's no denying that. We know that he loves to put in an extra shift. He's going to be the guy that's going to try and outwork everybody. We just need to see the translation of that. He's talked very confidently about his shot last season. And he said that he worked so hard on that shot that he should be shooting them. I don't have a problem with that. But now that he's working even harder on that shot, we need to start seeing those shots fall in for him. And again, it'll be a big part of his game and it will translate to every other aspect in his game. The key is always to have the defender respect you. If you don't have that, there's not much going for you in the NBA. And again, it will literally hurt every other aspect in your game. So it's one thing I'm excited to see. Let's hope we can see Dalen Terry knock down that three. But as I mentioned, training montages doesn't necessarily mean anything. So it's a prospect. It's something that I like. We'll have to wait and see if it translates over. Preseason will be very interesting. Training camp will be very interesting. I'm excited, man. I hope. I can only hope. And for sure, he'll get the opportunity now that we're a younger team. So let's hope that translates into him making some threes. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like and a follow and or subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.